Hi, this video is going to be about powers of attorney. And I just decided that instead of driving myself crazy, like I did with the wills video that I just did, that took me days, hours and hours. It ended up being 48 minutes long after edits. And I'm trying to find pictures and video clips, and I'm trying to keep the people engaged so they don't turn off. And it's like, you know what? Screw it. It's not worth it. You know how many impressions I got? YouTube gave me 234 impressions. Thanks a lot. 9 people viewed it. So I said, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm going to do power of attorney. We're going to talk about the 5 different types of powers of attorney. And I'm going to do it real fast. And it is what it is. Here we go. There's 5 types of powers of attorney. One is a durable power of attorney. That's the one you probably want if you're interested in estate planning. The next one is a springing power of attorney. That's where it comes to life. It comes to life after something has happened. The third one is just a general power of attorney. The fourth one is a financial power of attorney. And the fifth one is a medical power of attorney, which I generally call something else. The one that you most are probably going to use for estate planning is the durable power of attorney, okay? And the courts are going to presume it's a durable power of attorney. Unless it says different in the document. This is the one that's used for when somebody becomes incapacitated, if they fall into a coma. So it's very, as I always tell people, it's whatever you want it to be. There is a big, long list of anything and everything that you can do, that you can give that power to somebody else. One of the few things that you can't do, let me explain. The people involved, if you're the one making the power of attorney, you're called the principal, at least in Pennsylvania. Again, states' rights issue. So make sure you do some investigating as to how it applies to your particular jurisdiction. But you would be the principal, and the person you're giving the power to is an agent, your agent. And you can give it to multiple agents. It doesn't have to be just one. The springing power of attorney, as I said, that is something when, let's say you say, well, I don't want to give all my power to somebody now. How about we wait until I'm incapacitated? Let's do a springing power of attorney that will, pop up, come to life, as they say, once I'm incapacitated. Well, most attorneys are going to tell you not to do that because it gets messy. Who determines that you're incapacitated? Does your doctor make that decision? Does a judge have to make that decision? It delays things. It makes things much more expensive. And, meanwhile, you need help and you can't get it because nobody is ready or willing to say that, yes, at this point, she's incapacitated. Now, obviously, if you're in a coma, that shouldn't be a hard call. But again, who has to sign off on it? So most attorneys tell you, don't do a springing power of attorney for estate planning. Okay? The general power of attorney can be either durable or non-durable. Durable means that it lasts into your incapacity, right? Non-durable general power of attorney means it ends at incapacity, or it ends at whatever time you say it's going to end. You might say that this is only good for the next 6 months. That might be something where you want to have, you've moved down to Florida and your kid is still up here in Pennsylvania and you have a house up here and you don't want to be traveling back and forth and you just are going to give him a general power of attorney to specifically sell your house. You know, hire a realtor, maybe hire a real estate attorney, and that's it. That's the only thing it's for. Financial powers of attorney. These are, as you can imagine, for your finances. What does that mean? That means that you are able to have whoever your agent is, they can make bank deposits for you or withdrawals from your bank for you. He can pay your taxes for you. He can pay your bills for you. Or if there's a dispute, he can talk to whoever, whatever agency or company you're having a dispute with. He has the right to speak for you. Sell your house, rent your house. Most of the durable powers of attorney that I make for people, they're already including all of this financial stuff. And then the last one is the medical, which I call an advance directive. It has lots of different names, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on advance directives, medical powers of attorney. Basically, it's control over any and all of your medical things, such as who are the doctors going to be, what hospital are you going to be going to, what treatments will you be having or not having, end of life decisions. You know, I'm going to talk about that in a different video. That's okay. So power of attorney, real quick. As I said, principals, agents. In Pennsylvania, in order to make your power of attorney official, there's basically three parts to it. The first one is a notice that is to the principal, the person who's giving the power to someone else, that basically says, you do realize what you're doing, right? It's this big, long, full page of all the things that the principal has to understand that he or she is doing with this document. They have to sign that and date it. On the back of it is the acknowledgement by the agent who says, one, he has read the power of attorney. Two, he agrees to act with prudence and in the best interests of the principal. Three, agrees that he's going to keep his assets and your assets separate. Four, he agrees to keep receipts of everything, keep kind of a journal or a log of what he's doing, everything that he does. You know, today I went to the bank and I opened up an account, or I closed this account. Make sure he keeps track of everything that he's been doing. And then the last one is that he's going to be prudent and cautious. The third part of it is the actual power of attorney. And it's many, many, many pages long. And you can do whatever you want with it. You can say, okay, I want him to be able to do A, B, C, and D, but I don't want him to be able to do, X, Y, Z. I generally advise people, unless you have some real serious reasons why you don't want him to have full power over things that you have, like your finances, your house, the whole kit and caboodle, then maybe you shouldn't have him as your power of attorney, right? If you don't trust him completely. As I said, you can have two agents. My parents, my father was power of attorney for my mother, and I was power of attorney for my mother. Conversely, my mother was power of attorney for my father, and I was also power of attorney for my father. So if one couldn't do it, the other one could. These things, all these documents need to be signed and dated to make the POA official. If for some reason the principal never signed that notice. She's going to get around to, she's going to do it. She's going to do it. And she hands it off to her son, and he signs off on his stuff. And she's already signed the last page of the power of attorney, but she never signed the notice. It's not official. Okay? So that kind of stuff is really important. Again, I'm going to mention eforms.com. I think, unless, look, you could go see an attorney if you want, but more and more attorneys are using apps like eforms.com. I'll leave a link below for it. I did get into the affiliate program, and the very next day, I had said in the wills video that I said, as soon as I send this out, I'm going to find out if I got in or I didn't. Sure enough, very next day, very in the morning, I found out. So that's great. I'll leave a link below for eforms.com if you want to check them out. What else did I want to say? Oh, and again, one of the things you can do with powers of attorney is you can make multiple copies. If you don't have a printer at the house, go over to Staples. Make a bunch of copies. Make 10, 12 copies and just keep them so that when you need them, you've got them. You can show them to, anytime mom has to go to the hospital or dad's got to go to the hospital. He's got to bring his medications with him because he doesn't remember what he's taken. He's got to bring his medications. You should bring your power of attorney so that you always have copies of it. And again, there should be a little line in there saying that, a copy is as good as an original. And that's basically it. I'm going to tell you there are 3 things that every older person needs. One's a will, one's a power of attorney, and one's an advance directive. And we're going to talk about them probably later in the week. But that's it for now. And I'm not going to make this, fancy schmancy. I'm just sending it out and see what people think. Leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.